Hi, I'm Nguyen, founding president of Bitcoin Association. Our organization advances the business of Bitcoin by backing Bitcoin SV. I'm here to tell you about the Genesis hard fork coming to the Bitcoin SV network on February 4th, 2020 to restore Bitcoin's original protocol and enable a fully on-chain world. Bitcoin's original design is back with the Bitcoin SV network's hard fork on February 4th. This hard fork is code-named Genesis because it returns the Bitcoin protocol as closely as possible to the original released in 2009 by Bitcoin's creator Satoshi Nakamoto, Dr. Craig S. Wright from nChain. Rather than an upgrade, this is more accurately described as a protocol restoration. It is a key step in Bitcoin SV's journey to finally unlock the massive on-chain scaling power and greater technical capabilities that were always possible with Bitcoin's technology platform. Bitcoin SV can now enable a world where data, transactions, and digital activity of all types can be on-chain on a single public blockchain, just like the world operates on a single public internet. Bitcoin SV emerged from the world's first Bitcoin hash war in November 2018 as the new name for Bitcoin's original protocol, after prior developer groups Bitcoin Core for BTC and Bitcoin ABC for BCH changed Satoshi's design and refused to massively scale the Bitcoin blockchain. Now the fastest growing blockchain ever, Bitcoin SV has seen application development explode globally, making use of its greater scaling, data, and micropayments capacities. Growing usage has led BSV's network transactions and daily average block size counts to regularly surpass BTC and even on some days the Ethereum network. Why? BSV, which stands for Satoshi Vision, is the only project that adheres to Satoshi Nakamoto's original protocol, design, and vision for Bitcoin. In short, BSV is Bitcoin. That's why the Genesis hard fork is so important. By bringing back Satoshi's design in Bitcoin SV, Genesis is a historic moment in Bitcoin's journey to become the world's peer-to-peer electronic cash system and enterprise blockchain that can power everything. The internet birthed a world where everything can be online. Bitcoin can now, through Bitcoin SV, enable a world where everything can be on-chain. So what exactly is happening with the Genesis hard fork? It involves many technical features, but accomplishes three main goals. Goal number one, unleash Bitcoin's scaling potential. Genesis will finally unleash Bitcoin's inherent power to massively scale by removing the default hard cap for block sizes. For too many years, the Bitcoin ecosystem was paralyzed by disputes over whether the network should scale with bigger blocks to support more transaction volume. The BTC network kept its block size restricted to a very tiny 1 megabyte, allowing only 3 to 7 transactions per second. The BCH network has remained at 32 megabyte block caps, which is still far too small to support enterprise use. Bitcoin SV now completely removes any default cap on the block size, or more accurately, the default cap and thus transaction capacity will be infinite. It is up to miners, rather than protocol developers, to manage the consensus of block size and transaction capacity on the BSV network, based upon market forces, just as Satoshi's vision always intended. What does this mean for transaction capacity on the BSV network? Currently, before the Genesis hard fork happens on February 4th, BSV can comfortably handle 1,000 transactions per second and theoretically up to 9,000 transactions per second at its current 2 gigabyte block cap. If that is fully used, that's over 2,000 megabytes. Once the block cap is removed by the Genesis hard fork, as well as with technical improvements and further scaling work that is in progress, BSV's transaction capacity will grow even more and has unbounded, infinite potential. This paves the way for enterprises to reliably build large-scale applications on the BSV blockchain. will also help Bitcoin mining to remain profitable in the future by enabling miners to earn more transaction fees to offset revenue that they will lose from the continued halving of the Bitcoin block rewards fixed subsidy amount, which halves from 12.5 coins to 6.25 coins in spring of 2020, and then halves again approximately every 4 years thereafter. So, the Genesis hard forks, lifting of the default block cap, and preparing for unbounded infinite scaling potential is key to the enterprise and mining profitability and growth of Bitcoin in years to come. Goal number 2, the Genesis hard fork restores the original Bitcoin protocol and technical power. Over Bitcoin's life, protocol developers made changes and imposed limits on Bitcoin's technical capabilities. Thus, another of Bitcoin SV's aims is to restore as much of the original protocol as it can to enable the spirit of Satoshi's design described in the original Bitcoin white paper and the original Bitcoin software. The Genesis hard fork is a huge step in that direction. It contains a very large number of changes which can be classified into 3 groups. Group 1, removing artificial limits imposed on the protocol, such as removing any limit on the blockchain's block size and thus transaction and data capacity, as we've just described, but also removing limits such as on the size and capabilities of individual transactions. Second, restoring the original functionality of Bitcoin script, the programming language used within the Bitcoin protocol. Over the years, key elements of Bitcoin's scripting language were disabled or restricted. The Genesis hard fork restores those functionalities in Bitcoin SV. And third, removing some detrimental changes that were made to Bitcoin. For example, Bitcoin SV is sunsetting pay-to-script hash, an addition to the Bitcoin protocol after Satoshi left the project in order to address perceived issues with bare multi-signature transactions. Pay-to-script hash brought significant privacy and security issues of its own, however, and it also breaks the smart contract capabilities and transparency model of Bitcoin's original design. It was a detrimental change and is one of those detrimental changes that are being removed to restore Satoshi's vision. With these restorations, the Bitcoin blockchain can be more easily used not just for payment transactions, as everyone thinks about, but also a vast array of data, token, smart contract, content delivery, enterprise application, Internet of Things, and other uses. Developers and businesses will be able to design transactions that perform many complex functions on Bitcoin without the need for other attempted blockchain projects such as Ethereum, EOS, or Hyperledger. And that leads us to the third and final goal of the Genesis hard fork: stabilize the protocol. On January 7, 2010, very early in Bitcoin's life, Satoshi wrote in an online post these famed words: "The nature of Bitcoin is such that once version 0.1 was released, the core design was set in stone for the rest of its lifetime." In addition to restoring Bitcoin's original protocol, the Genesis hard fork honors this Satoshi vision to have that core design be set in stone. The update contains quite a lengthy list of technical changes, but groups these all together in one hard fork for a compelling reason: the ability to stabilize the protocol. Why is this important? A stable rule set ensures that a monetary or data transaction performed on the blockchain today will be valid in 2, 5, and 100 years from now. Furthermore, enterprises and developers want a locked protocol before they commit time and resources to build applications on top of it, rather than having to constantly change their development process if the base protocol is repeatedly changing. For comparison, the Internet protocol has changed very little over the last 30 years, and that stability has been critical to achieve today's vast world of online commerce and activity. Note that after the Genesis hard fork, the BSV network may still experience some software updates and improvements, including of the Bitcoin SV node software itself. Furthermore, leading blockchain research and development firm Nguyen is creating a different enterprise-class version of BSV software named Terranode. But any future software versions will not materially affect the base protocol rules for Bitcoin and should not affect applications being built on top of BSV after the Genesis hard fork. As we prepare for the Genesis hard fork, let's thank the Bitcoin SV node project team for their hard work and dedication. Lead developer, Daniel Connolly, technical director, Steve Shatters, and a terrific team at nChain, that globally leading advisory research and development firm in blockchain technologies. And of course, we have to thank Calvin Ayre for his unending backing and Dr. Craig S. Wright himself for his Satoshi vision. I'm excited. I'm ready. I hope you are too. It's time for Genesis, and it's time to build the network and technology platform Bitcoin was always born to be.